explanation. Okay, class, take a look. So we are in the chapter 2. Okay, in stage 1 is explanation on the mind's development regarding Dharma, learning the Dharma. Okay, so meaning to say that regards arising of the delight is cutting all thoughts, filling a water vessel, planting seed in the earth, determination to practice, and arising of the diligence. We have done all this already. So now we go to the stage 2. In stage 2 is the explanation of reliance on the good spiritual guide to enter the righteous Dharma. So here, we already finished. In stage 3 is a reflection on the generally difficult from learning condition to arise. Okay, and number 2 is a reflect on the preciousness of the human birth. Okay, so class, basically today we are in number 2. It's about reflect the precious as a human and reflect on the 3 superior human quality. And also number 3, encouragement to advance in the practice. So I think today we are about in this school, and we might cross to stage 4 a little bit. So this is our syllabus for today. So let's take a look. So in previous lesson, we talked about that we should avoid the 8 obstacle. Obstacle meaning to say the 3 evil destinies and longevity heavens, born in Buddha age and in the center's country, and have a health sense organs and without deviant views. So meaning to say by this is avoid being born in the longevity heaven. So we must avoid all this so that we listen to the Dharma. Okay? So we have finished all this already. We should check out, and then all of us are quite lucky. Now it's about attaining a human form. So Yongxin, can you please read it out?
Okay. In the cycles of transmigration through birth and death, it's hardest to become human. The human abilities to recall, to have pure conduct, diligence, and courage are superior to those of the various divine beings. Some people think of life as very meaningless because they have low intelligence or poor living conditions. Thus, they give in to self-blame, self-hate, or self-abuse and cannot set their mind on the study of Buddha Dharma. They do not know that in the continuous cycling of birth and death among the 5 destinies, it is most hard to become human. Being human is a rare opportunity, so one should not look down on oneself. There are 2 ways of looking at the difficulty of becoming human. First, in the cycles of transmigration through birth and death, those born in the evil destinies are as plentiful as the dirt on the ground, while those born in the good destinies are as scarce as the dust on one's fingernails. Those born in good destinies in the heavens, for example, may enjoy these states for a long time until their stay there ends. Then they usually fall back down. The rare chance of becoming human is analogous to the chance that a blind turtle swimming in the ocean will put its head through the hole of a plank of wood floating on the surface. One can see how unlikely that would be. But to be born a human in the cycles of transmigration through birth and death is just as difficult. Second, although humans have much suffering and in undesirable circumstances, it is actually very precious to be human. According to the sutras, 3 human abilities: to recall, to have pure conduct, to have diligence and courage, are not to be found among the beings of the evil destinies and are superior to the abilities of the various divine beings. Humans can recall the past and preserve experiences, which gives them a particularly well-developed ability to think and to reason. This is superiority in recall. A person can, by regarding material gain and practicing self-control, become physically and mentally pure and thus benefit other people. Some people do control themselves and devote themselves to these aims, and their moral spirits is potentially very great. This is superiority in pure conduct. In order to reach a goal, a person can endure suffering and hardship, working diligently and courageously until the goal is achieved. This is superiority in diligence and courage. These qualities are generally similar to three virtues of wisdom, benevolence, and courage in Confucianism.
Okay, thank you so much. Please raise hand by Zoom if you finish. Okay, thank you so much. You can put down your hand now. Okay, class. Okay, basically, for this paragraph, we talk about that it is so difficult to become a human. Okay, how difficult is it? Well, the analogy is quite, it's quite common. If you go through some basic Buddhist study. This is the analogy. Let's take a look to the picture. Okay. Yokwa, can you please try to elaborate a little bit regards this picture?
There is a bright there is a turtle that's swimming maybe in the river. Then you try to put its head through the hole of a sampan or wooden. Is this correct?
Yes. Meaning to say that actually the tortoise is blind. Okay, tortoise is blind. Basically, they will say that it is in the sea. You see, in the sea, if there's a plank wood and the plank wood got one hole. Okay, well, the opportunity for a blind tortoise, okay, to just, to put his head through the plank is very rare. You see. Because the tortoise need to breathe, after some times, okay, the tortoise is submerged under the water, is able to retain for quite a long time. But anyway, the tortoise need to flow up. When he flow up, the opportunity for the heat, and when there's a plank floating on the sea, so the opportunity for he flow up, and also the heat put through the hole of the plank is very rare. Basically, this is how to become a human. Okay. For those who have never learned the Dharma, they're quite hard for them to appreciate. Okay, especially nowadays, after COVID, a lot of people lost their job. The way we see newspaper, a lot of people, they are very strong mind. I don't think all are so strong mind. You see. Basically, where can we find the jobless people? Is in the Grab car, Recently, I took Grab quite frequent, I didn't drive. I took Grab. All the jobless people in the car. Okay, from a debt collector from the bank until to the GM of the Tesco. I also can find the Grab. Not everybody looks so positive. Some they also start grumble, you see. So you see, if life is difficult, it is quite hard for them to appreciate. Of course, because they have difficulty for survival. And even though for Grab driver, they say, they can earn maybe 3,000 plus, okay, it's okay. Well, it is not difficult for the Grab driver to earn 3,000 plus, but must be 8 to 12 hours, just keep on driving. And the first few hours you have to pay for the rental for Grab $50, and the rest is your earning, you see. So sometimes, so meaning to say that, and let's say the order come from the Grab, you cannot turn down, how many times you turn down, then the opportunity, you get the order will be less. And if let's say we comment them badly, they also will convert. So meaning to say that if this type of people you ask them to appreciate as a human, it's quite difficult. Or for those who affected the disease, like Kamling, Kamling basically in the hospital, if they got chronic disease, which type of patient used to say, just let me die, end my suffering? Which type of patient used to say this, Kamling?
I think normally those with very complicated ICU or those with renal failure, kidney failure.
Okay. So kidney failure. So they will say, just let me die, rather than just keep on suffering and keep on to the hemodialysis. Frequently. Is this correct? Okay. So you see how if the case if they are in this scenario, quite hard for us to say this analogy. They will find that, of course, you are not the one who dialysis, I dialysis. So we need to say learn Dharma must be in a healthy situation. Then you will understand. Because according to the text, the person who reincarnate as a human is just like a third in our fingernail, you see. But for those who reincarnate in the three woeful state, it's just like a sand on the ground, meaning to say that in the earth we got about 7 billion people, right? How many people? What is the total number of population throughout the in the earth? 1.7 billion, correct? 7 billion.
7 billion, right?
7 billion,
7.6.
How many?
7.6 billion.
7.6 billion, you see. So meaning to say that among 7.6 billion, it's just a minority will be reincarnate, become a human. The next slide. mostly maybe we will be reborn in the woeful state, you see. So according to the Dharma, this is how we see. Okay, anyway, if let's say we become a human, we have three qualities which is so precious. Okay, number one, we are able to recall and preserve the experience. Okay, well, none of the animal can do this. You see, now okay, we can build our house. Okay, we begin by staying in the cave. Finally, we build a house. Okay, so in the beginning, maybe just okay, the food okay, okay. I mean, the cooked food is due to the thunderstorm, so we get the cooked food. But until now, we are able to accumulate the experience. We can see so many culinary, right? Chinese food, Korean food, Indian food. So tomorrow, Amanda, what food are you going to take tomorrow in the birthday?
Japanese.
You see Japanese food, you see. And you go to Japanese food, you see the decoration is so good. Okay, with the music, with all the utensils, it's the perseverance and accumulation of experience, but just only human. Because we never see the chimpanzee or the monkey, they will eat by using the fork and the stick to just cut the banana. No, it doesn't happen to all the animals, even the chimpanzee and also the dolphin. They are so smart, but we never see them doing this way, right? Just a human, so we can accumulate many experience, just human only. So number one, this is what is precious, we can see it, okay, from our civilization, okay, is the number one. Second, in order to achieve, second, in order to, we are able to just, to have a pure conduct, just to, just to attain our goal. Sorry, let me try to explain the third one. We are quite determined in order to attain our goal, you see. So class, I think what we see now, basically the performance of the frontliner is a very good example. Okay, Kamling, can you just roughly tell how difficult of the frontliner in the hospital as you see? How difficult are they?
My private hospital not so obvious lah, but mostly because we are not the COVID center, but you have to wear all the PPE.
PPE, got to endure the heat, all right, yeah. and the PPE is very expensive to see and it shouldn't be contaminated, so they will avoid drink much water to avoid the urination, you see so basically you are quite suffer, you're quite tortured by wearing the PPE, you see. But you see, until now the frontliners still there, you see. I know some quick, but not many. Still a lot, still, it's still in the frontliner, you see. So this is a human, we can see. It never happened to the chimpanzee and also in dolphin. But the human, we can see the perseverance in order to attain the goal. The determination basically from Buddhism we will quote is from Xuan Zhuang. So let's take a look. This is the Xuan Zhuang.
Oh, but like why that if we are born disability, with disability lah, so we also cannot learn Dharma. If the parents are very always recite prayers, they cannot hear.
Okay, not clear your question again.
If they are born with disability, that means palsy, the child got some kind of congenital problem, but they are born in the Buddhist home lah. So can they receive or learn Dharma?
Cannot. If let's say they are mental retarded, okay, or maybe they have a disability in the organ, cannot. Even though they are born in the Dharma family, no, they can't.
How can they achieve something through that to be reborn better?
Okay. Well, basically, if let's say they are mental retarded, right? Okay, they can't do anything. They can't create any karma, okay? But anyway, if once they pass away, all right, their vipaka will be finished. Okay, the vipaka finish, and the moment they die, the karma they create in the previous life, previous life as a human, okay, will ripen, and they will gain back a normal body. Then they can learn the dharma at that time. If they are mentally retarded, they can't do anything. If they are blind, or maybe they are dumb, okay, they're deaf, yes, they're still able to do something. You say I can do dana, even though I'm blind, right? I still can do the giving, but if mental retarded, no, they can't do anything. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, regards the determination, basically, we prefer good example in Buddhism is a Xuan Zhuang. Well, Xuan Zhuang is a Chinese monk in Tang Dynasty. It's about 6th, 7th century. You see, okay. So this is a Chinese map. Let's take a look. Okay. So this is a Xi'an. Okay. This is a China. This is an Indian. So he traveled from Xi'an and walked through the Taklamagan desert, okay, and then and reached Afghanistan, all right, and from Pakistan also, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then come to India, all right, Bodh Gaya, all right, and also Bodh Gaya here, and Nalanda here also, and the journey he told, okay, it's about 17 years, just to, it's a it's a it's a, it's a it's a two. Go and go and back. It's a 17 years. It takes 17 years. You see, so meaning to say that basically, those who will use the Silk Road, will pass through the Silk Road, there are only two type of people. One is the businessman, the merchant. Second is the monk. Merchant is for they work for money. A monk is for the religions. So we know that, we understand that this is the determination of the human. Well, anyway, I think you all can put the example who show a very strong determination. Okay, Amanda, you first. Can you put a human example show a strong determination in order to achieve something, as you know, historically? Yes, Amanda.
I just can think of Buddha.
Buddha, yes, okay.
I think he showed the greatest.
It showed the greatest. Okay. Can you more detail a little bit how determination you can discover from Shakyamuni?
I think when he is young, he already find out he don't want to follow the life of a prince, and then he is determined to find out how is the Buddha way. Like he gone through the yoga way, and then he go for suffering way, a lot of different method until he achieved enlightenment. I think that's the greatest determination.
So from here we can see that he tried the method one by one. Even try to for being starvations for 7 years. Just eat very little only. But he's just want to get enlightened, so he tries very hard. Okay. So from here, okay, in order to enlighten, not just the determination only, you have to observe the precept to conduct. To practice the pure conduct. So human, they are able to do this. As a human, we are human. In order we can keep the pure conduct, we can keep our 5 precepts, because there's a lot of temptation around us, you see. But we know that in order to attain to the Buddhahood, for the better meditation, so we will try to be, we try to, how to say, to observe a pure conduct. Okay, for example, if let's say some people come to bribe you. Okay, they say, oh, I bribe you something, then in exchange to get a project. But for human, of course, you might be, you might be seduced. But we also, but quite a number of people if they have a strong principle, you can seduce them also. So there's a pure conduct we can see in the human. Okay. Well, besides, there's one more thing is very unique for a human, especially for the third one about the pure conduct. Plus, basically, in meditation, you see, this is from Uh, mm, 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 uh, Class, take a look. This is our nadi, and also our chakras, you see. Okay. Yeah. Why human is so precious? The reason is through the accumulation of the past experience, our humans notice that the energy, we need energy to run through all the organs, all the system within our body, including respiration system, immunization system, digestion system, okay, and reproductive system, okay. And through the accumulation of the experience, they notice that they will try to channel the energy from the productive organ to the brain. We call it from the sexual chakra to the crown chakra, because you are able to to use this energy to get enlightenment, because sexual force is a quite strong energy. Actually all energy is strong also, but sexual energy is quite strong. So in order to for human, they are able to accumulate the experience, and through a spatial skill, and also by observing the pure conduct, they are able to try to upgrade the energy of the sexual to become enlightenment. So that is the human can do this. We never see the dolphin or chimpanzee. They will know about that. They won't. They never. But human, yes. You see, this type of cultivation, this is more common in yogaism and Taoism. They explain through the physical body. I can see that's a combination of these three superior quality all together is in the human. You see, in order for enlightenment, you see, they accumulate the experience, number one. And second, they're able to be chastity, or the brahmacharya, or observe the precept. Okay, why? Because they want to channel the energy. Because if the sexual energy you use it, you can produce the offspring. Basically, the manipulation of the sexual energy for producing for reproduction is quite common. So you see, most of the people, they will have the partner, they have the children, and they need the energy to do all these things. Okay, but if as a human, they decide, okay, so I got enough children already, I don't want. I want to use the energy to to focus the energy to the crown chakra for enlightenment. Yes, we can. As we see, Shakyamuni also got children, right? Rahura. But after one children, he decided, no, I don't want anymore. I want to be brahmacharya. And then he able to do so. So the second we can see from the human. Okay. And the third one is the determination, also from Shakyamuni, and also can see from us. A class basically, the superior quality, it is good for you to put an example. But of course, now we're in the religions. Use Shakyamuni is a good example. But anyway, the way I see, maybe Yongsi and Amanda, you're still in the business, or you're still in the business. Time for earning the money. Well, there's no harm for you. You said maybe Penjos or as an example, or Microsoft, the boss of Microsoft as an example. Well, it's good also. I think it's not easy also to become a CEO. Yeah, Yongsin, do you have any business? Do you have any model in the business field or not? So that one day you can as good as him. Do you have an example?
I think that's few lah. So maybe like Elon Musk, the one that created the electric car, right? Tesla.
Oh, the Tesla. You use him as an example, Elon Musk.
Not really using example lah, but just knowing him. Okay, this is what he did lah. This is what he does.
It is preferably you know him better in detail. If let's say you want to set an example. Yes.
I would rather use the Chinese businessman in Malaysia, like the Guang De Shi.
Yeah,
Lim
yeah,
Ko
yeah.
Tong,
Yeah. Well, I think it is quite necessary for you to set an example. Because I think Yong Sin, your career prospect looks bright. I mean, compare all of us. Coming, I think we never go into the business field.
Oh, don't need retire already.
Not retire already. You see, and they won't. Here, Yong Sin have a great opportunity, and also potential, for being a great businessman, something like that, lah. Amanda, do you have an example in business? Or you just aim to become housewife only?
Become a manager, CEO.
Not really. I don't really have any business people for now in terms of determination. No, but a few of a leader like I used to like Barack Obama. I admire them with the qualities of he changed how US from George Bush being very aggressive to a more liberal, and then he do more with a good faith kind of changes from Obama. That's the one I can think of now.
Yes, sir. So we need to say you're ready to join politics already, lah. In the next level.
I used to think I want to join NGO lah, but yes, now cannot earn money, cannot lah.
Because more direct. Who is your? I think your example should be Buddhism, right? Who is your example?
净空老法师。
净空老法师 ，okay. How about Gamling? Who is the example for retirement?
I don't have lah. See, I wonder when you want to become a monk, do you have any objection?
Oh yeah, you can. But you have to set a.
No, yourself.
Virtual monk, you have to look for it. Okay,
No, for yourself.
Yeah, basically, my senior mostly is my example. Because they attend my class before regarding the high monk with the Chinese history of the Chinese Buddhism. They all know that. They can feel. Am I right? You can feel my admiration to my senior. Everyone I admire because all they have a different ability. You see. So I always think for that. I always miss them also. You know. Because they are like a human, but wow, their determination is so strong. But of course, it's not necessary for me to take a camel and also just like a serious journey walk to India. No need lah. But now we have our modern challenge. So I just want their spirit and then see what can I do in the present Buddhism lah.
But do you have a lot of objection from your family? When you
objection?
No. Oh, very good.
In the beginning, yes, in the beginning. But now it's very good. Tomorrow we are going to meet already. After tomorrow, my mother will come already.
Because many families, if like even the son want to become a monk, there's a lot of objection there.
Of course. Yeah. But
I think now
I got my brother lah. So they want more grandchildren. They want grandchildren, right? So my brother provide to them. So they will be fine. So yes. It's good that you have more than one children, a few children. Yeah. So that you try to how to say in terms of investment, we don't put all the egg in one basket. So you should have more children. So you just put the basket with the different egg in different basket. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. So first you have to set an example for yourself. Basically, all the model we can see the superior quality of the human, and basically they all have a challenge. Usually the greatest challenge they are, and they are, and if they are willing to think big, then all your potential will be exploded out. You have to think big in the first place because in 6th century, from 4th to the 7th century, you think for traveling by walking from China's Xi'an to Indian, well, not many people are willing to think for that because a lot of people die actually. What we know is the very famous, just a few figures, but maybe thousands of people die already, through the journey. So they all die, they become a skeleton and become a landmark in the desert. Oh, the success just very few only. Oh, so they are become, they become the object in our lesson. No? For those who die, we also don't know who are they, Got 1,000 people. So we also even don't know who died already, you see. So meaning to say that it's really not easy, you want to become excellent, you see. Okay, well, anyway, for religious, you have to set an example for yourself. Okay. Yeah, why you use Jing Kong Lao as an example? What quality you observe from him?
Oh, because of my mother's passed away at that time, so my friends brought me to attend one ceremony. And then I come to know the Buddhism. I come to know the Buddhist Dharma from Jing Kong Lao that time.
So that's why you use
from the books, actually from the book CD, VCD, and so forth. And then I try to learn myself until for quite a number of years. Then I come to attend master class systematically.
The way I see the contribution of Master Jing Kong is that he tries best to make the Dharma common and popular in many cities and many print out material. So the chances for the Buddhists to get the Dharma, I think one of the best channels is the Jing Kong Lao Fa Shi. If without this channel, then maybe we'll go to Christian, we don't know we go to vegetarian restaurant, quite sure you can see, Jing Kong Lao Fa Shi, a lot of free distribution CD, you see. So you want maybe one day you also can contribute in this way, make people can, make Dharma accessible to the public, easily outreach to the people. Okay, so class, basically we already discussed all the points. Let's see. Am I miss out anything or not? Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So we talked about this already. Okay. Yes. Blind turtle or not tortoise. Okay. So ability to recall, have a pure conduct, also diligent, courageous. Okay, we have talked about this already. All right. So now we go, okay. So we got the one more paragraph here. Okay. Then after one more paragraph, we go to paragraph verses number 24. Okay. Also got one more paragraph. All right. So please, okay. Amanda, please read it up. Okay.
Among all the sentient beings, therefore, humans are the most precious. People who become virtuous sages, Buddhas, or patriarchs all respect this potential for human greatness and strive diligently to realize their achievements. When a divine being is dying, according to the sutras, others will say, "We hope that you are born in the path of happiness." The happy land they wish for is the human world. The human body is the happy land that the divine beings desire. So as a human, how can one indulge in self-blame and self-pity and let this life pass emptily? It is hard to become human, but having become human, one should vigorously practice the Dharma. Do not waste time. This is like entering the mountain of treasure and returning empty-handed and with regret. Since it is hard to obtain a human form, one should be very happy to
please continue.
To seize this precious opportunity and vigorously practice the true Dharma. Life is impermanent. Life is just in between inhalation and exhalation, says a sutra. So one should not wait for tomorrow, next year, or the distant future to practice. One should take this great opportunity to march bravely forward through the door of the Buddha Dharma. If one spends one's time idly and wastes one's life, when the breath stops, one will have attained nothing of the Buddha Dharma. This is like entering a mountain of treasure and seeing all kinds of wonderful things, but not having the sense to gather some. When one's time is up, leaving the mountain empty-handed, one sighs with regret. If one does not work hard, while one is alive, what good will it be to feel sorry when one is dying?
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, okay. The way we see, according to the author, even though the Deva also admire as human. Why? Because a human, we call it as a human because we have these three quality class. Basically, even though the Deva, especially the sensuous Deva, the level is higher than us, but they do have these three superior quality. So this is the reason why human is still is the best place to do the development of the mental development. If you want the mental development, you still as a human because um, uh, our life is a mixture between happy and also suffering. And even though the happy cannot last long, we understand that. Okay. But anyway, even though we can recall the thing, we can preserve the experience. But also it's easy also for us to forget the suffering also. You know, I have been I have the experience for being operated. For how to say for gallstone. How should how should I put it I experienced I experienced the surgery to remove the gallbladder and also the kidney stone before, you know. Okay. Well, this is quite suffering, you know. I have to inject. I got to inject the pethidine in order to, to forget the suffering, you know. I really need that because it's so painful, you know. Okay, and I remember just after, the experience, I worked so hard, but now I think I forget everything already. Okay, I mean, basically, if you got the, I mean, the kidney stone, you know, it's very suffering. Okay, so after the kidney stone removal, so the doctor said, yes, you have to drink so much water. How many liter? Yeah, in the beginning, yes. Now gradually, I think I start lazy already. And also the gallstone, you see, a gallstone basically is due to the accumulation of the cholesterol. Because I prefer eat fatty food, you see. So in the beginning, yes, I do all the calculation, but later on lazy already. See, sometimes we also forgetful, you see. Even though we can accumulate the experience, but also we forgetful. Okay, so that is the human. So sometimes this is how we grow. We fall down and we stand again. We fall down and stand again. But really, I mean, if you, I mean, I'm not a woman. I don't have opportunity. I mean, to experience the delivery of the baby. For the pain due to the gallstone and also due to the kidneys is already enough already. I think Kamli, you agree, right? You know that lah, wow,
very painful.
very painful.
If you are one whole day the baby doesn't come out, ayo.
Yeah. But for gallstone, kidney stone also very difficult also. Wow, also difficult also. You really need the petatin, you know, petatin. You know, Michael Jackson died of petatin, you know. We need that type of petatin in order to reduce the pain. You see, the painkiller. Okay, well, let's take a look. Anyway, if let's say become a human, so we shouldn't waste our time. So Buddha always mentioned that. I mean, our life is just within the breath, you see. We can breathe in and breathe out, meaning to say you are still alive. But if let's say you can breathe in but can breathe out, so you'll die already. So here, I mean, if let's say you are very lazy, sometimes we will use the analogy to remind ourselves. Okay, but of course, it is quite, if you work so hard, it's not necessary to always think this type of thing, because we want to avoid over vigorous. We should balance all the time. Just like a guitar, you see, it cannot be over tight, it cannot be over loose. In order to make a good music, it must be in a moderate way. Kamling, do you feel numb already by working in hospital, because see so many cases in the beginning? Do you feel wow very vigorous, but later on now you feel nothing already?
Now I'm doing admin work only, but when I was a student nurse, you also very compassionate. After then you see like say like patient died, you are scared, but after a few you are not that scared. Or
nothing already.
But now if you ask me to see, you feel a bit, because I left nursing many years, 20 years.
Yeah.
But then if you say I feel, yeah, I will still feel, I mean, you feel sad. The feeling is there lah.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
surely.
Yeah, I think it is good if you still have the feeling. If
Yes.
you have the feeling, meaning to say that you need other stimulation already to stimulate you. Yeah, it's the same, you know, like you they learn Buddhism quite long, you know. Sometimes we use some method. I mean, we go to visiting the case in the hospital to encourage us. But later on, you will feel numb. You feel you don't have this feeling already. You see, every day you see, feel nothing already. So you have to look for other stimulation already. Right? Okay. Okay. Basically, always remember that if let's say you feel lazy, I mean, the fear of that. Okay, the fear of I mean, the short thing. I mean, how should I put it? The fear of that. Also, you feel you don't have much time. You feel the scarcity of the time. All this will make you more work harder. You work harder. But basically, people they will only study before the examination. You see. People used to do that. Without examination, people they won't study. Is there anyone have the habit you study only because of the exam? Put up your hand. Without exam, usually you don't study. Coming. Amanda, you didn't study, right?
I I scared I fail and then I'm not smart enough. So usually I will do regular study to understand. So I won't like last minute lah.
How about you, You said, are you the last minute one?
Not really. I usually keep it quite consistent.
Oh, very good lah, huh? Are you wow? So study before the exam only.
No. We will study every day one.
Oh, very good.
Little by little, phrase by phrase like this.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, then the case meaning to say that if you apply to the Buddhism, meaning to say that you can be consistent. But one day, if let's say you feel lazy, so you need some encouragement, you need some fear, you need some urgent, the sense of urgent, so that you can work harder. Well, in working career, I mean, career is the same. Once we close to deadline, so people will be more vigorous. If the deadline is very far away, never mind, we drink coffee first. It used to happen like this. Okay, next paragraph. The goal, right? Kamling, your turn to read.
The goal, the mutually dependent 3 levels of motivation. So after hearing the Dharma, one should vow to practice it. But because of people's different capacities, the Dharma may appear differently to each of them. After associating with good and knowledgeable people and hearing the true Dharma, one should resolve to practice it. To resolve means to have a firm determination to move forward and to follow that determination as a goal. It means to decide to do something with faith and determination. When the Tathagata or a great bodhisattva is preaching to a single listener, in order to suit the capacity of that person, the teacher chooses doctrines at the appropriate level. The Tathagata has such inconceivable transcendence power. However, that even when a great assembly heard him, different listeners all thought that the Buddha was preaching in the words they wanted to hear. So it is said, the Buddha uses one language to expound the Dharma, while sentient beings understand it each in their own way. It is harder for the average teacher of the Dharma to use one language to expound the Dharma in different ways, or to differentiate between people's capacity. Such teachers can only expound what they understand and practice, or the doctrines that the most people can understand and practice. But the audience capacity may not be compatible.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you check for me the reference, the footnote number 16? What sutra is it? Can you check for me?
Shifu is V1.
V1. Is this correct? V1? V stand for what? Can you check for me?
Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra.
Okay, Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra. We mo Jing ah. Okay, Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra. Okay, class. Basically, for the Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra, this sutra is regards to the layman. His name is Vimala. So Vimala is a bodhisattva. Well, in this sutra, we know that he is skillful in preaching the Dharma. Buddha also can have this type of ability. He just speak in one language, even though the crowd with a different background, but they all can understand. I think this is we call it as a transcendental power by Shakyamuni. Not everybody possess, but yes, Buddha can do it. So he able to know you have a different level, so talk the Dharma with a different level to you. So this is quite. This is the. You possess the ability once you attain Buddhahood. If the people like you and I, we are not able to do so. Okay, right. So that is the meaning here. You see, once we will listen to the Dharma, we have to vow to practice of it. Vimalakirti, let's take a look. Yeah, this one, Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra. Okay, Vimalakirti Sutra. Let's take a look. Okay, it's a Buddhist text which centered around a lay Buddhist meditator who attained a very high degree of enlightenment, considered by some second only to the Buddha. Okay, second to the Buddha, meaning to say it is quite high level. But anyway, it was extremely influential in East Asia, but most likely of considerably less important in India and Tibetan sub-tradition of Mahayana Buddhism. So that's the reason why it's very influential in East Asia. If you go to the layman organization or temple in Malaysia, you will discover this in the free distribution center. All right, the distribution center, you're able to get it. Okay, so they will try to try to understand how the Vimalakirti Bodhisattva do. We learn his spirit. Okay, so that is the meaning. So class, you can just maybe, never mind, no need. Okay, the teaching, among other subjects, the meaning of the non-dualism, the doctrine of the true body of the Buddha. So class, you can just write down non-dualism. This is the major teachings in this Vimalakirti Nidesa Sutra. Non-dualism. And also, the doctrine is teaching. The teaching is regards the doctrine of the sunyata. Okay, so we know that this sutra is regards this. Vimalakirti, class Vimalakirti is a layman, but in the sutra, he is daring to scold the monk, But anyway, he is the bodhisattva, he can do so. Please don't try to learn from him. Okay, because the status is different, you see. You see, he is the person next to the Buddha, so meaning to say that his level is very high, but just with the appearance as a layman, you see. So you are the layman, but your status is not like a Vimalakirti, so you don't learn from him and scold the monk. Okay. Okay, next, let's take a look. Okay, the next paragraph. Whose turn? Why you haven't read yet, right? Your turn.
Some people learn from reading the sutra. whether randomly, systematically, or according to others' recommendations. There is, however, no guarantee that whatever they come across will correspond to their capacities. For example, the esoteric methods are popular in Tibet. Hinayana Buddhism is popular in South Asia, and the Chan sect was seen extremely popular in China. Can it be said that all Tibetans have a propensity for the esoteric? That everyone in South Asia has a propensity for Hinayana Buddhism, and that all Chinese previously had a propensity for sudden enlightenment. The nature and the characters that one has depend primarily on the restoration has one made. Do not think that by reading, reciting, accepting, or keeping certain doctrines, you automatically have a capacity that responds with them. In the past, there was a Lama in Tibet who practiced the esoteric methods to become a Buddha, but end up as a Sravaka. Someone asked a good and knowledgeable person about this, and he said, if someone attains the Hinayana fruits by practicing the esoteric methods, that is not so bad. Some who have practiced it have become devout and non-Buddhist. Therefore, one should not become attached to or have any bias towards so-called great and wonderful methods. This is more important to examine one's own restoration.
Examine.
Examine.
Okay, thank you.
Examine.
Okay, class, a few things is quite important. Zen. Hinayana. Okay, class, basically in these two paragraphs, what you try to explain to us that is it. Okay, what you read, what you recite, it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean that you will enlighten. Okay, because once we chant the sutra regarding to the Buddha, so you don't think that you yourself is the Buddha. That is the meaning. So by just chanting only, it doesn't mean you will attain what is described in the sutra. That is the meaning. All right. Okay. Here there's a few terminology we have to be careful. We have to know that number one, due to the different cultural background and the capacity, the popularity of the Buddhism is different with in the different area. In Tibetan, exoteric is more common. Exoteric in Mandarin we call it as a 密宗 it's more common in Tibetan Buddhism. I think exoteric maybe is not the best word. Let me see. 真严重密宗Vajrayana. Yes, the more correct way is Vajrayana. Class, okay, can you please copy down Vajrayana in exoteric? Vajrayana. Vajrayana meaning to say that their cultivation is consists of mantra chanting, mudra. This is and also some contemplation, visualization of the bodhisattva. That's we call them as a Vajrayana. So class you see, if you put Vajrayana, what you're going to see is the image. You see, you will see so many very colorful Buddhism, okay, with the mandala. It will appear if you try to Google, all right. Yeah, and the colorful with the different bodhisattva, if you put Vajrayana. But actually Vajrayana, we try to check, you see. Or exoteric Buddhism is also okay. You see, it's acceptable, or exoteric Buddhism. Sometimes we call them as a Tantra Yana also, because they're based on Tantra. Some they use a secret mantra. Okay. Yeah, the practice includes the mantra, dharanis, mudra, and mandala, and visualization of the deity. So class, you can just write it down. Exoteric also means Vajrayana. Vajrayana, the practice of Vajrayana involves all this mantra, dharani, mudra, mandala, and visualization of deity. This is what they try to practice.
People like this Tibetan, they very believe the reincarnation of their Sifu. When they pass away, then they will search for the child who will be born.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, others don't do that, right? Chinese one on.
Yeah, no. In Theravada, in Mahayana, we don't do this. Okay, we don't have these skills, but they still have these skills. Meaning to say that the teacher, before pass away, he is able to predict where he's going to pass away, and then he will try to make a poem, make a poem and say you can just open the poem after maybe 8 years or 9 years. At the same time, they will they will go through a medium and try to predict where the teacher is. Everything is run by secret. So they will try to run everything by secret. I think this type of skills just Tibetan Buddhism, they still got it. We don't have. So it doesn't happen to us. Okay. Maybe Gamin can try lah.
No, I'm very curious why they can predict where the child will be born. Because I've read stories on that. So
by psychic.
Is it psychic?
Psychic.
It's true lah. They will show signs that they are the previous teacher.
Yes, in a pond, they will show the sign, so they know where to look for the teacher. So meaning to say that the teacher later on become a student, and the student later on become a teacher. That is a rotation basic.
Rotation.
In a rotation basic. Teacher become a student. Next time the student become a teacher, and the teacher going to look for the student. But the student will look for the teacher and continue the teaching. Okay, this is the way.
say like our say with Buddha Sayamuni, I mean Buddha always come down lifetime after life to come and enlighten us. So we in other why we don't go and search, or we know the sign that this is the next the Buddha that come down, or maybe you look for the teacher. Is it the teacher is the one who
Yeah. We have never
incarnation.
searched for it.
We never.
Yeah. Why you do search for him?
No, because I've been read like this. So they say that Buddha always come down to enlighten us because we have a lot of now a lot of this joy and all that. So come and spread dharma, you see. So how do we identify? Oh, that is the Buddha that come down, you know. Is it among our teachers lah, our Buddhist teachers lah?
Yeah. I know. I need a question because if let's say somebody search the Buddha, and of course preferably if Buddha got certificate lah, that's the best, right? People can recognize. Oh, you're the real Buddha. You got the certificate. Then maybe from one lineage to another lineage. This is the thing. Well, it doesn't happen like that. According to our legend, according to our legend, Buddha, this is the finest life for Shakyamuni. Okay, so he got enlightened. So before he became enlightened, he reincarnated to many realms to help living beings, to help them. But no people.
No, we don't.
People ask for that. No people go to say that. Okay, one thing is he doesn't really, he didn't really go to, to prove that I am the Buddha. He just worked hard for it as a bodhisattva. And then when he met somebody who have the affinity, so he tried his best to help. And then the people, but the people, they doesn't request, they didn't request a certificate from Buddha before.
Not like Tibetan lah. Tibetan monk, that's why they have that dopra like that.
People say, oh, are you in the path of the Bodhisattva? No people ask this. The Bodhisattva just do whatever they can. People want the organ, they will donate. But people, they don't ask, like, are you in the Bodhisattva path? Let me give you some suffering and challenging. No, the people don't do that, you see. Okay.
They also like reborn. They come down to help living human living being. Also, they reborn the family, and then they show some kind of they're very. They practice Buddhism and all that. They show some kind of very high. They understand very young. From young, they understand.
Oh yeah.
I think maybe you.
Coming question maybe we all try so next time our disciple go to research for us.
Yeah.
Probably with the certificate award system so make sure got quality control but very hard religions we can't run the business way it is not a business model we can't use
like what Master Jing Xing, Master that passed away, right? Or this no, you don't search.
No. Okay.
Lineage.
What we try to do, even though our student will not search us in our Theravada and Mahayana tradition, but our aim is we should try to teach all our knowledge to our successor. That is the point. It's just like it's just like a chimbang it's just like a bank or the business industry. You see or not? They don't look for reincarnation, right? But once you are the CEO, once you are the prime minister, you have to know who is your successor, and you have to teach all your successor so that he is capable to inherit. Your job, okay, your portfolio before you retire. That is what the people do here. In Buddhism, we also same. You see, we will teach. We will teach, and we don't request people to look for our next life, but we train our successor. So everybody will train the successor. So it never stop. So that is the normal way we do. Okay. So don't look for
Ah,
just make sure you get a successor and teach your successor.
No, I think we teach the Dharma to the next one. That's why I'm very curious, very different from Tibetan one. They look for the lineage, the people reincarnate.
I think if you, let's say you handpick your successor and you train your successor, this is more guaranteed way. Or also quite guaranteed, because you look for the reincarnation of a teacher. I think there is some difficulty. I mean, within the process. Sometimes they will found more than one. 3 or 4. They say, oh, don't know which one is a teacher. So they have to trust them. So this is more issue. And yet now the China, they want to control the Tibetan. So they know the thing is they must control the Lama in order to control the whole Tibetan. I mean, politically, you see. So that's it makes the issue complicated. So preferably there must be separation between the religion and the politics. Okay, next, what we're going to see. Okay, there's a few terminology. This is exoteric, so people will know that. Okay, class, Hinayana is not a good word. Please don't use Hinayana. Hinayana is a humiliation, according to the history. Literally meaning the small deficient vehicle in the classical Chinese. So don't call people Hinayana, but just call them Theravada. So please replace Hinayana with Theravada. Theravada. Okay. If you study Malay before, Hina means inferior, right? Hina, inferior. You can only call them Hinayana, except they say, please call me Hinayana. Then you can call that. If they don't say, please don't call like that. People will punch you. Okay. And then one more is the Zen. Class, let's take a look. This is the Zen. Zen. What is the Zen about? Okay, class, basically Zen is a part of meditation method which is not origin in Indian mainland. It is created by Chinese patriarch. So this is the Zen master. Well, the most famous Zen patriarch is the sixth patriarch. He passed away, but he's managed to maintain his body for more than 1,000 years, and his body is still available in Guangzhou. Okay, so if there's opportunity, especially coming is so curious, you should go to Guangzhou and have a look to him. So let me show you. So this is okay. So coming, you can write down the clues. This is in the Guangzhou Nanhua Si. Wait first. Guangzhou.
It's not that they put medicine or what for the body. It isn't little old.
No. Without any medicine. So this is the sixth patriarch. The body could be kept for 1,000 years and remain intact. It doesn't decay, and it is not mummy. Not a mummy. Oh, okay. Even though the temperature is very moisture, but since he is a real, I mean, he really attained something. So he is able using the psychic to keep the body until now. Okay. Well, if you learn the meditation or qigong before, it is good you can meditate in front of him and make some vow. Hopefully that by his blessing, you are able to attain. Because you see, class, what for you keep your body for 1,000 years if you already passed away? Of course, you use it to encourage people, right? You encourage people. So I can, I've been meditating in front of the sixth patriarch for twice. I think it's very good. So class, you have to, you must look for opportunity to go to see all these senior. For me, it's a senior. For you, it's a teacher. You have to look for them. Okay, so sixth patriarch. Okay, so coming anywhere, I think if you go, you have to lead by the Chinese tour guide, bilingual tour guide, because quite hard for you to understand. So you just write down 6 patriarchs in Guangzhou. This we call it as undecayable body. Undecayable body. So he practiced Zen. He practiced Zen. The Zen is not original from Indian. It is created by the Chinese, but it's still workable. So he can maintain his body, remain intact. Okay. Okay, a class. Sometimes you also can call the Theravada as a Sravaka vehicle also. Sravaka. The meaning of the Sravaka, meaning to say that they enlightened through hearing to the Buddha. Sravaka. So class, then you see Sravaka here, class. You see Sravaka. In the future, we will learn deep regard to Sravaka. Sravaka means what? Means hearer, you see. Means hearer. They enlightened through hearing to the Buddhism, you see. So just write down hearer. And generally, it's also mean a disciple also. Okay.
Sifu,
Yes.
in this context, right? How come the Lama practice the method but become a hero? What's gone wrong?
Oh, why become the Sravaka but cannot be the Buddha? Oh yeah, I think it's regards to resolution, the determination. There's a possibility that he doesn't really make a good vow for Buddhahood. So end up become the Sravaka. Okay, so that is the reason why. But it doesn't, it is not available in the text. Class, am I right? It is not available in the text. Yeah. Then you see, examine one resolution. That is the answer, you see. The resolution. You see, it is not the method problem, it's the resolution problem. Okay, class, that's all for today. Who wants to do the recapitulation? Probably a hand. Who won? No people want. Okay, so anyway, so that's all for today. So class, if you're interested in any topic, so you just go to Google yourself, just to study yourself. Well, we will just close the book and you will open again once we met next time. It just happen like this. Or you will go to further reading which is interested.
Sometimes.
You close the books, number 1. You will go further by yourself, number 2. Number 1. I'll just close the book and then forget until next time.
It's interesting, then I go and read.
Okay. So class, make sure you're interested. If you feel interested, you just keep on do the reading by yourself.